Why is this Black & Decker the best-selling orbital sander on Amazon? We're going to put it through the test and find out. Your first impression might be, well, it's the price. At about $30 on average, I always go to Camel and figure out what's the lowest price this has ever been, the highest price, and basically the average sales price. And at about $30, this is the average sales price of this sander. The next thing I look at is reviews. This thing has over 13,000 reviews. And if you look at Quantify Ninja, only 3 to 10% leave reviews on products they buy on Amazon. Times that times 13,000 people, we'll go halfway at 5%. You're looking at over 278,000 units sold of this sander. Now, if you want to multiply that times 30, carry the 1, you're looking at over $8 million in sales. Price is not the only concern here, because if you look at the top sellers list, you'll notice number 2, Win, sells one for only a couple dollars more. And if you just scroll down the list there's several others that are in this price range that people could choose, but they still choose this one. Why? There's also a lower price sander than this, the Power Stroke sander at $28. It only has 3 reviews. So price is not the main draw here. Maybe there's something to this sander I'm not seeing. Let's put it to the test, figure out what's going on here. Now, out of the box, you're getting a very bare bones experience here. You're not getting a bag, you're not getting a carrying case, you're getting the sander, which is expected, and you're getting 1 sheet of 120 grit sandpaper and the dust bag. Out of the box, it's not that bad. It doesn't feel that bad. It has a nice heft to it, not too heavy, not too light. The soft grip rubber on top is really nice. It reminds me a lot of my DeWalt, actually. The way the hand feels on it and the button up top that turns it on and off. This is not variable speed, so you're gonna get the 1 speed. This does have a 2-year warranty and a 30-day money-back guarantee. And of course, if you buy from Amazon, you're not happy with it, you just ship it back, no questions asked. That's one of the things I like about buying things from Amazon. Now, this is a standard 5-inch orbital sander, which means you can use standard 5-inch discs in most cases. I actually prefer the 3M Cubitron, and I use that on most all of my sanders, either that or the Festool Granite. Now, this sander has a 12,000 orbits per minute. I couldn't find a stroke rate in any of their material. Typically, these are the smaller stroke rates on these type sanders. This is similar to the DeWalt sander that I have that is also a 12,000 OPM. This is not variable speed. There is a variable speed DeWalt that goes from 8 to 12,000, but honestly, I rarely use the variable speed anyway. Now, I want to know how well this actually sands and performs, and the main thing I want to know is how bad will it fatigue my hand? That vibration that you get in a lot of lower end sanders, is that going to be prevalent here? Prevalent is a big word for redneck. We're going to try that out. I'll probably throw some 3M Cubitron on there, just because typically this type paper that comes with these sanders aren't that great. On first power up, I noticed that the Black & Decker doesn't spin as quickly as, in other words, it doesn't start up spinning as quickly as the DeWalt does. The DeWalt is a little bit higher end as far as still being under $100, and you can tell that it has a little bit more power than the Black & Decker. But we'll see how the Black & Decker performs. I'm gonna use my pencil here to make a mark on this 2x6, and then we're gonna see how well it sands that off. And if you don't have any of these little bench cookies, they are awesome to keep your projects up off the table and keeps them from slipping and moving around. I highly recommend grabbing some of these. I'll link them in the description, as well as a sander if you're interested. Next thing I'm gonna do is sand with this sander for 20 minutes and see how fatigued my hand gets due to the vibration. I'll do this on time lapse. You're not gonna have to watch the whole 20 minutes, and then I'll give you my thoughts after I'm done. Wish me luck. Not only am I gonna use this time to see how fatigued my hand gets, I'm also going to use it to see how well the sander performs. If you like this type of content and you want to see more, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Also click the bell icon and then select all so you get notified of all the new content I've got coming. All right, 20 minutes sanding nonstop with the right hand on the sand. Right now I can touch it and I can feel, it's almost like a vibration every time I touch it when it goes through my hand. But I didn't really start seeing any fatiguing until about minute 14, maybe a little over minute 14, but man, it's an odd feeling. It's almost like it's asleep. But that's kind of how things go. Now, as far as using it and sanding, this board is butter smooth at 120 grit. However, you will see quite a bit of dust there. As far as the dust collection goes, I mean, if you don't have a shop vac or something hooked up to it, please use a dust mask similar to this RZ mask. I like RZ mask. You use whichever one you want. I'll link to this one. It's my favorite in the description. As far as dust collection goes, I think it's pretty full. It's a little snug because it does have a rubber gasket around, as you can see, to help seal that off. And you can see it's got a lot of fine dust inside here. And then the bag itself is quite full. I'm not sure if this comes off or how we empty this, but it's still coming. Jeez. That's kind of impressive to me that it collected that much dust into this bag without any suction at all. In other words, a dust extractor hooked to it. Now, I highly recommend using a dust extractor or a shop vac with a HEPA filter if you can, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Still have the numb feeling. Another thing as far as dust collection goes, on my phone that I'm using as my second camera, you can see there's quite a bit of dust. Not sure if you can see it also on the screen there. It's covered in dust and it wasn't covered before I started. So there is dust being airborne. That's the nature of the beast with sanding, and it is that fine, fine dust. So be careful with that, just in sanding in general. All right, as far as heat buildup goes, how hot did the sander get while I was using it? Barely lukewarm. You could notice it around minute 4:20, started getting a little warm, but it wasn't blazing hot. It was just kind of barely warm, and it never got hotter than that. So extended long-term use, I don't think you're gonna have to worry about your hand getting too hot or the machine itself getting hot. I'm gonna turn on my air cleaner and let it clean the air while I tell you about our website. Check out our, there's a bunch of heavy deals there. Check out our website, 731woodworks.com/store. If you go there and use the code DUSTY, I'll give you 20% off any order, and that includes our already discounted plan bundles. These are easy to follow, step-by-step plans that even a beginner can use to make awesome projects. And there's videos to help guide you along the way so that you know exactly what to do when you're building your project. So why is this the best-selling orbital sander on Amazon? I think there's a few reasons why. Number one, it's not the cheapest. What sense does that make? Well, if you look at human psychology, most people do not pick the thing that's the cheapest. They don't pick the thing that's the most expensive. They pick the one that's kind of in the middle, the value meal, if you will. If you look, the Power Stroke sander is cheaper than this Black & Decker. However, the Black & Decker is cheaper than the DeWalt. So now you have two sanders that are either more expensive or less expensive than the one that's in the middle, which is the Black & Decker, which is why I think most people pick this one. Number two, it's not a bad sander. It works really good. Does it need some dust collection help? Yes, it does. You see all this fine dust that's laying around. I strongly recommend a dust mask or a dust extractor or shop vac to use with this. But as far as sanding goes, it will get you a really good finish on a board if you need that. Now, is this something I would recommend for most woodworkers? Well, it depends on where you're at. If you're a beginner or just starting out on a budget, this is a very good pick for you. However, if you have a little bit more money, I would highly recommend picking up something like this DeWalt. It has been a very good sander in my shop for a very long time. As far as pricing goes, of course, this is around $30-ish, so you're gonna have to take that into consideration. Is they're using lower cost parts to make this with, so understandably, it's not a heavy duty sander. So if you need something that you're gonna be sanding with for hours a day, then 3M, Festool, Mirka, those types is what I would look for. But for your average woodworker doing this on the weekends, I think you'll be just fine with this for a little bit. It does have a 2-year home use warranty, so be advised of that. If you're using this in a business setting, then technically it's not covered under their warranty. If you like this video, I found the best table saw for beginners. Check that out. Click that box right there. Clicking the box gets you the big old virtual fist pump. Also, 10 of my favorite Amazon tools right there.